This weekend is the return of the National League South, and we're going to see if we can predict the opening 12 fixtures for the National League South 25-26 campaign. Let's go do it. Plan for the series is keep the videos under 5 minutes to make them much more manageable, much more easier to edit. We're starting off with Chelmsford City, big spenders in the league, obviously have made some statement signings and gone full time. They're coming up against new boys in the league, Horsham, who I personally, although made a couple of good signings, especially in the forward department, I do think they're going to struggle. And with Chelmsford first day of the season at home, I am backing them to win. I'm going to go Chelmsford to win 2-0. Game 2 is Chippenham Town. They're taking on Dorking Wanderers. Now, Chippenham have made some fantastic signings, some young players that are doing really well in pre-season. They've also signed a bit of experience in there as well, starting the season at home against Dorking Wanderers, who, of course, look a very, very stable side. Of course, added some really, really good firepower from the defence all the way up to the attacking line. I am expecting Dorking to go away first day of season, and I'm expecting Mark White's men to take home all 3 points. I'm going Dorking to win 2-1. Then we have a clash of the weekend, Dagenham and Redbridge versus Ebbsfleet. What an opening day game that is. Of course, Dagenham, we all know what they've done, made some fantastic signings, added Andy Carroll, of course, who's going to be playing his debut game in the National League South, but Ebbsfleet have done no different. They've made some absolutely quality signings, and these two I'm expecting to be right at the top come the end of the season. Do not want to predict this one, I just don't, so I'm copping out 1-1. Then we have another 2 new boys in the league. We have Dover Athletic, of course, have done really well with retention this season. Added a few new faces to their defensive line as well. As I say, I do think it's going to be a tricky season for them, but not as tricky as I think it will be for their opponents, Totton, who, of course, have strengthened in all areas, but it's going to be a very difficult season for both of these. So points early on may be really important. I am actually going to back Dover to win at home 1-0. Then we have another game that personally for me is shaping up to look like a bit of a cracker. It's Farnborough taking on Eastbourne Borough. And now I must admit Farnborough's signings have really, really impressed me so far, where signings for Eastbourne definitely haven't impressed me as much. Farnborough's home form, as we all know, is typically much better than their away form, and I'm expecting them to start with a bang. I'm going Farnborough to win 3-1. Game 6, and we have a couple of strugglers from last season, Hampton and Richmond taking on Salisbury. Now, Salisbury are my dark horses for the season. They have made some fantastic signings going forward. I do not think they should be underestimated this season. They're coming up against a Hampton side that have had a lot of change for the upcoming season. I do think they're struggling. I'm going to back Salisbury opening day of the season to come from South, come up to London and take all 3 points. I'm going Salisbury 3-1 as well. Game 7 is Hemel Hempstead Town. They're taking on Maidstone United. Hemel, I'm expecting to improve slightly this season, and Maidstone, I'm expecting to get slightly worse. So it'll be a really, really interesting comparison first day of the season to see how these two sides get on. But I am going to back absolutely no one. I think it's going to be a draw, and I think there's going to be some goals. Hemel 2, Maidstone 2. Then we have Hornchurch versus Weston-super-Mare. Hornchurch were the only team still to this moment that I maybe regret why I put them in my predictions. You can watch that on my channel right now. But nonetheless, that's done and dusted. Hornchurch look good. They possibly even look stronger than last season. At home, they're going to be a threat as always. Coming up against a Weston-super-Mare side who have added to their squad. And I do think will come good this season and get their mid-table finish. But I'm expecting Hornchurch to grab an opening day win. I'm going Hornchurch 2-0. We have Maidenhead taking on Chesham United. Another very, very, very interesting clash. Maidenhead United obviously relegated from the National League last season. It'll be very gutting for them to be back here. They haven't been here for a few years, but I'm expecting them to come back into the league with a bang because they have also made some statement signings. Chesham, a side I really like. I'm expecting them to prove as well this season. So, again, a really, really tasty looking game. I'm going to back Maidenhead United to win 2-1. Tonbridge Angels will take on Slough Town at Longmead. Obviously, Tonbridge, I'm expecting a really rough season for, possibly even relegation. It just does not look good on paper for me. Slough is very similar. I'm expecting them to be flirting with relegation this year. So it's almost a bit like that Dover versus Totton game. A really important start for both teams, I think. I do think it'll be close, but I do think that Slough may just do it away first day of season. Slough 1-0. The penultimate game of the video, we have Torquay United. They are taking on Enfield Town. Torquay United, of course, look fantastically strong. A stable squad with some really, really solid signings. Enfield have made a few signings, but they don't look like they're going to be anything special for me personally this season. Hope they prove me wrong, of course, but 100% Torquay at home at Plainmoor. Yeah, 100% backing them. Torquay 3, Enfield 0. Last but not least, the Rebels Worthing will be taking on Bath City at home. Worthing have made some outstanding signings. They look like they've got their signings perfect to a T. Obviously, they're taking on Bath City, who have only made the 3 signings so far. And although I do think it'll be a trickier season for them, I'm expecting them to be pretty safe and have a solid season under their own way. But I am 100% going to back Worthing to win this one, but only narrowly. I'm going to go Worthing to win 3-2. So there you go, there's all 12 of my opening day predictions. Hope you did enjoy. Hope you are looking forward to the season beginning. I definitely am. Let me know where you're going in the comments. I'm off to watch Dartford take on Dulwich Hamlet at Champion Hill, a game I am mega excited for, and possibly even a sellout crowd. But there you have it. First day of season. Whether I'll carry it on or not, I don't know. We'll see how this one goes and go from there. See how busy I get as well. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.